Hello, in this video I'm going to explain to you how solar companies can generate between 8 to 20 qualified meetings with commercial and industrial prospects each month. Doing this working less hours in a smarter way and with a system that is specifically designed for the solar industry. So let's start. For you to have some context, in the last 12 months we've added on average of $1 million USD in pipeline for our clients. As you can see, we've generated around 400 opportunities, and we've connected our clients with companies such as Mexameric, Hyatt Hotels, HB, and many others. So we have also worked with companies like Solar Tapatia, and since they started working with us, we launched their first campaign in January 2025. They have received over 100 leads and of course qualified in the commercial and industrial space. Also, we've worked with EcoValue. We started working with them in May 2025 and we've generated over 45 qualified commercial and industrial leads so far. So as you can see, it's not hard. It's something that any type of company, as long as you are a solar company, can achieve. So the first question, who is this system for? To be honest, the system that I will show to you in this video is designed based on marketing principles. So it can be used in any industry, but we only specialize with solar. So if you're a solar company that already have a sales process and a follow-up system in place, and you already offer different financing, different programs to your clients, this is also very interesting for you. And of course, I don't even want to write this down, but just in case, you have to be able to deliver high quality installations and have completed past projects. I mean, have case studies and basically results that you can use in the future to get more clients. So that's the first part, but more important, you must want a predictable sales system, not just random referrals, and you want to have qualified meetings with real decision makers. And lastly, you must want a system that you can trust. So basically, if you want to double down the revenue next year, and you just need to double down the amount of people you're talking to, and that's it. If your system can do that, then listen to this video because it will be very useful. So, your current problem. The real problem that most solar companies face is they don't know how to generate consistent opportunities every month. And this may be in the residential sector or maybe in the commercial or industrial sector. This applies to any type of sector inside solar. And most of these solar companies rely only on referrals, which is good because this is sign that your work is good and people is referring you to new persons. So overall, this is a good thing. But if you are in that position, you know that also have some cons, which is sometimes you have super high months and some other months you have bad months with no sales or maybe not even referrals. But also another of the problems of being in this situation is that you start every month from zero and you hope and pray that some of your past clients refer you with someone else. And to be honest, you don't have control on that. And if you're watching this video, you probably know that experience better than me, because it also means that you don't know how much money will come in. And maybe you already have a system. That could be another option. You could be using a system that is making you money, but if you want to scale it, maybe it's not the best thing. Or maybe you already tried different options. Maybe you try Google Ads, maybe you try Facebook ads, whatever, and it didn't work. So trust me, I understand you. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can solve that. Because listen, I know that at the end of the day, you don't really want leads. And you don't even want calls or meetings just to talk with new people. What you really want is money in the bank. And this only happens when you have a system that actually brings new opportunities every single month on a consistent basis. So that system needs to provide, of course, qualified opportunities and has to be predictable and easy to scale. So I want to give you a little bit of uh, background about myself. I graduated as a sustainable energy business engineer. Then I worked at FIDE, which is a trust in Mexico that basically specializes in solar projects and energy efficiency. Yeah, yeah. So that's what this trust do. Anything related with energy. And then after that experience, I founded Beryl Media, an agency that focuses just in helping solar companies grow. Okay, so I want to really emphasize this. We only work with solar companies because this is the background that we have, and this is the industry that we really understand. So let's dive in. I want to bring you as much value as possible. So here it is. First, I want to explain to you three main concepts that would allow you to actually make the most of this video. And the first concept is messaging. And why is this important? Because, like I said before, if you are maybe in a position where you are getting tons of referrals, it means that what you offer is actually useful and very valuable to the market. But it's very important, how do you position that? How do you say it and present it to the market, basically? Because you could have the best installation team, you could have, the best tools, the best service, the best programs for your clients, the best customer service, the best installations, but if at the end of the day you sound like everyone else, you will get what everyone else get, which is get ignored or not have opportunities. And here's an example. If you are still using like, hey, we help you reduce your electricity bill, okay, that's the end goal, of course, but everyone is saying the same thing. So you need to position your offer on a different way. And this is not like rocket science. It's just a matter of really thinking about what you offer differently to your competitors and use that as leverage, basically. The second concept is attention, because once you have the right message, you need more people to see it. So once you have, you can have the best offer in the world, but if only you and your team know about it, nothing will happen. So what you have to do is very simple. Put your message in front of the right person at the right time. And this is very important because you could reach out to someone in your dream company, okay? But if he's someone who is not a decision maker, then it's just useless. Or you can reach out to a decision maker in another company, but if they already have solar or a system that actually is helping them to pay just a few bucks in terms of electricity, then it's also useless because it's the wrong time. But for example, if you have a factory owner that has been experiencing higher cost in terms of electricity, and they are actively looking for a solution, and you contact them, then he's a decision maker in the right time. But like I say, if you contact an intern who can't make decisions, or a company who have already figured out this problem, then it's basically the wrong person in the wrong time. So here the goal is not to reach everyone. It's to reach decision makers when they care about the problem that you solve. And this is very, very important. The concept number 3 is conversion. Because once you put that message that is perfectly crafted in front of the right people at the right time, it's just turning that conversation or that thing into booked meetings that will allow you to get real conversation and then move the project forward and end up in a sale. So here's what most people forget, that they think that sometimes sales start once they jump into a meeting or they go to the factory, but that's not really true, because sales start since the first message that you send. The first email, the first contact, call, ad, whatever, is where the sale actually starts, because from that moment is when you start to build trust. or I mean, let me rephrase this. You start to build trust or you start to lose trust. As simple as that. So, what do we do? It's very important that you don't wait until you are face to face with a decision maker to build trust. In the meantime, you have to send them resources, case studies, information about your company, proof of past projects, short videos, YouTube videos, whatever you have as sales asset that can help you to generate more trust. Share that, because that's the first main step. Um, then, when you join into the call, they already know who you are, what do you do, and they actually know that you can deliver because you've done it in the past and you have proof of that. Okay, so compare this. If you sound like everyone else, and then you don't like, yeah. So if you use a very generic message, you sound like everyone else, then the client will have a little bit of doubt about you, if you can actually deliver what you are saying, if you have done this in the past, and basically you will be chasing this prospect because they don't trust you, to be honest. But let's compare it to this. If you actually show social proof and build trust that you have done this before, basically the clients will feel safe and they will understand that you've done it before, they will trust you, and they will allow you to actually move the process forward. So this is very important. This can change completely your sales process, and this will help you to close more deals in the long term. So now that you understand the three concepts, which is messaging, attention, and conversion, you actually know or you have the three main components to launch a client acquisition system that actually works, that is scalable, predictable, and that will help you to generate a lot of money in this solar industry. So let me explain to you how this works. You may be wondering, okay, that's cool, but how will this thing will generate actual meetings or money? Well, let's start point by point. There are many ways to actually get your message out. You could try traditional methods like cold calling, door-to-door visits, networking events, or maybe you can even try modern methods, which is methods such as Google Ads, Meta Ads, TikTok Ads. You could try LinkedIn outreach or LinkedIn ads, even direct messages or email. And the truth is that all these methods work, okay? But they work for a different type of client and situation. Let me explain. Facebook ads, which is Meta ads, they are perfect to generate residential homeowners, which is a B2C market. And if you do it the right way, you could generate tons from that method only. But for example, Google Ads, okay, you could also run Google Ads, and you will see that you will get ton of prospects that have high intent because they are actually Googling to get that problem solved, okay? And this may be useful maybe for more B2B type of prospect. But also, this means that you need to be careful with other things. Like, when you run Google Ads, you need to be careful about the landing page, about the ad, and many other things. And if you don't know how to make this work, then that's the problem, because both of them work. It's just how do you use it? How do you actually apply it? Anyways, LinkedIn, you could also try LinkedIn. You can reach out directly to business owners. But the problem with LinkedIn is that the limits, how many messages can you send per day with LinkedIn is restricted, basically. So in order for you to scale this, you would need to have tons of accounts, and at the end of the day, it will be a nightmare for you because they will get blocked, and it's just a mess. So if you want to scale LinkedIn, it's very hard. And you could try, like I said before, any other traditional method, which is, for example, calling. And it works, of course, but it costs time. And managing the people is something that you need to be careful with, because you need to make sure, for example, they are calling, or if you outsource that, you need to make sure that they actually are making a good job. Probably you have tried this before, and if you're still watching this video, I can tell that the experience was not the best, or it didn't work as you wanted to. So let's go into what is important. What is the best for commercial and industrial? The truth is that the best is cold email. And why is that email? Okay, because the truth is you can contact anyone in the world if you have their email. You can reach out to a CEO, to the plant managers, to the director, and you have direct access. It's not like you reach out to the CEO and you have to go first with the assistant and then scale up. No. You reach out directly to the CEO and he will read your message. Okay? Compared to, for example, cold calling, that you need to call and maybe you will find like a filter. First you have to go over the secretary and then see if she actually wants you to talk with the CEO. It's just a mess. So basically you have direct access with the people or the person you are reaching out. You don't have to pay per click or ad spend, and it's scalable. You can send 100, 500 or 1,000 emails per day. Okay, so this is very important because this is scalable, but do it in the right way. And also you can automate 80% of the process if you know how to do it. But you may be wondering, or you may be asking yourself like, yes, that's true. I've tried it before and it didn't work because I sent tons of messages and I got ignored. Nobody replied to me. And that's true. That happens with email if it's done wrong. Most cold email fail because they send generic messages like, hello, we offer solar solutions, or is the principle that we spoke first, the concept, messaging. They sound like everyone else. So you need to position it in a different way. Also, sometimes they fail because they send it to the wrong people. They are reaching out maybe to interns when they should be reaching out to CEOs or directors. Another mistake they usually do is they talk about themselves, not the client. So at the end of the day, you have to be pretty straightforward on how you're going to help that person to solve this problem. So if you reach out to them and you're like, hey, we've done this and we are specialized in this, but you never address how you're going to help them specifically, then you are lost. And also, they get marked as spam because they don't do it the right way. And their email infrastructure is terrible. So as you can see, there are many variables that you need to take care of before in order to actually run this system with success. But the good news is that 99% of the people are doing email wrong. So it's super easy to stand out if you do it the right way. And here's how you gonna do it right. The first thing is, as we spoke before, messaging. You have to position your offer on a smart way, not just reduce your electricity bill. No, but remember, be straight to the point, like less than 100 words. Be concise. They have to be easy to read, and you have to touch the high-level benefits and pain points of your prospect. The second point is attention. Find the right decision maker, which could be the CEO, plant manager, or operations director, and set up the proper email infrastructure. This is very important because there are many ways to do this. You can do it manually, you can find someone to do it for you. There are many ways, but you have to make sure that this is covered, because otherwise you could have the best message, you could have the best database, but if you're sending tons of messages, let's say, 2,000 messages per day, and all of them are going into spam, then doesn't matter because no one will read that. And that's where this comes. Follow the best practices, which is overall what I told you before. Clean databases, good message, and follow the limits. And what I mean by follow the limits is, this is a bit technical, but make sure that you are not sending tons of messages from the same email account. Okay, so what I mean is, by each domain, you have to buy new domains to do this. And by each domain, you need to buy 3 inboxes And out of those 3 inboxes, what I recommend you is send between 20 to 25 um, emails per inbox. Something more than that will cause you to basically go to spam in just a matter of days. Okay, so let me explain to you this with numbers. So I will use very conservative numbers. The first is, let's say that you are sending about 720, like say 700 emails per day, and out of those 700, you'll be getting around 4 qualified prospects per day. And if you run the numbers 5 days per week and 4 weeks per month, you will be getting around 80 prospects per month on average. And if only 30% of those prospects actually end up in a meeting, you will be getting 24 meetings per month. Okay, that's a lot. That's something that sometimes even solar companies are like, I get 1 meeting per month. It's like you'll be getting 24 meetings per month with commercial and industrial decision makers. And even with a super low closing rate of 5%, you could be getting 1 new project. Okay. Now, this is what you can expect from this system. So again, with the recommending sending volume, which is 600 to 700 emails per day, you should be getting 25 to 30 interested prospects every single month. And from those, 1 to 2 will turn into real project after the sales cycle, of course. And why this works consistently? Okay, the thing is, this is not based on luck or referrals or something, or hoping that someone just find your website and call you. No, this is built on a repeatable and scalable process. Like we spoke before, you have the correct message, you have the right database targeting and systems and infrastructure to position and to show your message to the right people at scale. And you already have at this point probably a sales system in place and follow-up system in place that will allow you to turn that interactions into actual projects. So recap, what do you need to run commercial and industrial prospecting? First, mass email campaigns, which is, like I told you, 700 to 600 emails per day. A high quality database, which is the names have to be correct, the company, the role, the emails, all these have to be covered. The right message, position your offer in a smart way that sounds different and that actually leverage what you offer different to your competitors. And fast response time and proper follow-ups. You'd be surprised that sometimes you reach out to someone and maybe they see your message, but they are busy and they forgot to reply to it. And if you follow up with him, they'll be like, oh yeah, I saw this message. Maybe it was interesting for me, but I forgot to reply, or I didn't even see it until the follow-up. So don't be scared to follow up. So at this point, you have different options because you know that the system works. So the main question is not, does it work? The real question is, who is going to implement this in your company? And here you have different options, to be honest. You can keep doing what you're doing. Like if you're based, if you're basing your lead generation into referrals, that's fine. Like we said before, it speaks good about you and your work, but the things will likely stay the same because no new system, basically no new changes, no new results. The option number 2 is you can try to do it yourself with your team, and you can learn it, of course. You can maybe get some YouTube videos to learn how to do this properly, and maybe you can buy a course, whatever. But the truth is, it will take you easily, or at least 4 to 6 months of testing, and this 4 to 6 months will need, of course, money to the infrastructure, trial and error, and basically you'll be losing time and money. But at the end of the day, if you manage to actually understand and learn how to run the system after this time, then you'll be something good. If not, then results can be inconsistent and you'll be in the same place or worse. Okay. The option number three is you can hire a generic lead agency that they are good, but they probably work with tons of different niches. They work with um, restaurants, gyms, whatever you want to think of, and maybe they don't really understand solar because solar is a very unique niche, and that's a big problem. Okay, and also to guarantee good results, most of them, well, what they do is they charge for lead. And if you're watching this video, you probably have experienced that. And what I mean by this is sometimes we found some agencies that actually were charging per lead, which was, the number, the name of the lead and their information, which was the email and the phone number. And when you reach out to them, you as a client, you as a solar company, reach out to the lead, in theory, that it was your lead. Well, basically, they shared the lead with tons of different companies. And you tell me, if you reach out to a lead and they have received 20 calls the same day to offer you the same thing, it's like you won't close that prospect. I can tell you that. So that's unfortunately a pretty common practice in this industry. So that's the problem. If you get shared leads, the chance of closing is almost zero. Anyways, last option is work with us. Like as I told you before, we only work with solar companies. We've done this multiple times with real companies, as I showed you before, and we're still doing it. And to be honest, our incentives are aligned. Basically, if you don't get results, you don't pay. So, what to expect when working with us? Well, this is what we will build for you. First, we will get a full system that will bring you 8 to 15 qualified meetings per month at minimum. And it will be just 60 minutes of your time. 30 minutes, let's say, of the calls to really understand if you are a good fit, and then an onboarding funnel that will help us to actually get the information that we need to run the systems for you. And after that, just your time to relax because we will take care of the system, and the only thing you will be doing is joining those meetings and moving the prospect forward to the sale. And basically, you will be working with a team that only works with solar companies, knows what is doing and what, knows what works and what doesn't work in the commercial industry, and has done this multiple times successfully with clients. So just to give you more like an idea in terms of numbers, let's say that at worst we get you 15 meetings per month. So over a 6-month period, you'll be getting around 90 meetings. And in the case that you have like the worst closing rate, let's say around 1%, and you only manage to close one deal out of those 90 meetings in total, and let's use a number of a small project, 100 kilowatts, the revenue from that project on average can be $200,000. Okay, $200,000 at worst, really at worst. And what you be paying for collaborate with us and us to bring you this, it would be less than 5% of this. Okay, less than that. Now imagine if you can close 2-3 projects more, this will be like, how do I say it? Like, it will feel like nothing, okay? Like nothing, because of the high ticket prices of this type of project. But anyways, now as a bonus, as I told you before, we have done this with other solar companies before. We only work with solar companies and especially with companies that we know we can help. So to be honest, we are very selective with the type of company we accept and that we allow to collaborate with, because we want to deliver the best results. And in order to do that, we need to actually make sure we can really help them. So as I said before, if you have maybe some, maybe you don't have case studies in what we are in, what you, in the type of industry you're trying to go, then potentially the system will not be very useful. Or if you are just starting out the solar company and you want to get to a super big company, it's like it won't work. So we will be the first to tell you that it's not just get more clients for the sake of getting more clients. It's actually we are really care about helping them. So next steps. If you want to see how the system will work for you in your company, you can book a call with us. And the call, basically, what we will do is make sure, like as I told you before, that you are a good fit for what we do. And if we can really help you, I'll let you know. If not, then also I'll let you know at the very beginning, so you don't lose your time. And yeah, we like to be very honest, to be realistic. And also, we will show to you how the system would look working inside of your company, and we will explain to you how the pay-per-result model protects you, because that's another thing. We only work on a pay-on-result basis. So basically, if we don't perform, you don't pay us anything, and we have the risk. Okay, let's say, if you want to say it that way. And also, we will answer any questions that you or your partner may have. So, as I said before, the goal here is to help. So, this is very important for us. Now, again, book a call if you are interested in this. I will go to the frequently asked questions in case you are having doubts with a specific point here. So, what makes this different from any other agency? Well, the number one thing is that we don't use random tactics. Our system is based on proven marketing principles, as I told you before, and they could work anywhere, like in any type of industry. But the solar niche requires some specific knowledge. And if an agency is not specialized in this and don't know the nuances of the industry, potentially it won't work, even though the principles they've worked for years. If you don't know the nuances for this industry, it won't work. But fortunately, we know those nuances. Now, question number 2, will this work for me? The real question is not will it work. The real question is how well will it work for you? As I told you before, results are guaranteed. We are only paid once you get results. But the level of return depends on your offer and, more importantly, your sales process. We could book you 1,000 meetings, but if you don't have a good sales process, a good follow-up system, then maybe none of them will turn into projects. Okay, but if you have a proper sales system, a good follow-up system, I can tell you'll be fine. You'll make a ton of money. Now, what if it's not profitable for me? Well, before working together, we will do a full number analysis. As I told you before, the goal here is not to just sign new people for the sake of getting new clients. It's actually making sure that we can really help them. So we will see what you are actually doing. We'll see if the numbers actually make sense and let's see if what you're expecting to get is something that we can actually help you with. And if the math doesn't make sense for you or for us, we simply do not move forward. As simple as that. Now, number 4, how do you make money if I don't sell? And this is very simple, because even though we don't offer like pay-per-close, if you don't sell, you stop paying for the service. And if you stop, we don't make money. So that's why we only work with companies that actually can close the deals or the prospects we will be getting them and can actually generate ROI. Like I said before, this is more like a partnership. So the more time we work together, the better. And in order to do that, well, we need to make this work on both sides, okay? So do you offer pay-per-close deal? And the truth is, no, we don't offer pay-per-close model. We have control of the lead generation and qualification of the prospects, but we do not have any type of control in the sales team or the sales process. But what we do is make this as easy as possible for your team to close. That's why we make sure to have sales assets, to have a proper booking system. So basically you have the highest chances of converting the prospect and yeah, basically close the sale in the long term. Number 6, will this damage my brand or make me look like spam? And the answer is no. We send emails from business alias accounts like Mauricio at yourcompany.com, Mauricio at yourcompany slash company.com. So basically, we prepare new infrastructure for every client. Of course, the infrastructure is unique per client, and these domains redirect to your main website for branding purposes. And all the emails are personalized and sent only to real decision makers, not spam thing. And this is very important, and I want to really emphasize this because, as I told you before, we know that the first contact is where the sale really starts. So if we are like spammy, or if we are like needy, like please buy my solar installation, you won't get anyone closed. So we want to make sure that every time we contact a new prospect, we're actually doing it from a place where we can start the interaction the best way. So when you actually so when you jump into a meeting with them, they have already trust in you, and basically they trust you. That's what I'm trying to say. So number 7, how do you get the contacts or the emails? Well, we only use public or commercial data. Depending on your niche, we use different tools, but basically all of them are from databases. And yeah, we don't do any type of weird thing or unethical to get the emails, don't worry. Can I change the type of lead later? The answer is yes. If your ACP changes, we always can adapt the campaigns and match the new target. So don't worry about that. What if you're working with another solar company in my area? Is there a conflict? And the answer is no. We don't share leads, as I told you before. Every type of meeting we book is exclusive per client, and so you don't have to worry about that. And lastly, how fast can I expect results? Okay, so this is very important. A campaign will be ready after 17 days, and the first appointments should be booked the same week, like in the first couple of days after that. So the results are pretty quick, let's say, once the campaign is launched. So if this is something you are interested, if you are trying to improve your acquisition system for qualified commercial and industrial meetings on your solar company, just book a call. As I told you before, the link will be in the description, and we will find out if you actually are a candidate for us to help you. And if that's the case, then we will explain to you how we can help you. So hope this is useful for you, and see you on the call. Bye bye.